Hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. If this coffee mug and this looks familiar, they were from my Sips buy earlier in September. Not quite sure when I'll be uploading this since my boxes are coming in. Probably towards the end of the month. The coffee mug is from Kroger and it says, "I'm a dragon until I have coffee." I don't like coffee, so I'm always a dragon. And he kind of matches my little draggy right here from Dragon Con. Got green dragons everywhere. Anyway, I love my little dragons. I love dragons. You can give me a coffee mug or a dragon and you'd be a big hit in my house. Anyway, today's tea is from Sips by in August. It is the cacao tea, plus it is mixed with a stash Moroccan mint. I've already indicated that I love the combination. And the longer it steeps, the more the cacao tea seems to come out. So that's really nice. It's also nice that the mint is not taking over. I do kind of worry about that sometimes. So as you can see, I am wearing my sample queen crown, which means we're doing samples today. We do have something a little different. Instead of my usual notebook, I have everything on a second phone. So we will go from there and see how that goes. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is from Makeup Factory. It is a matte eyeshadow in, can't see the name. Well, it just says it's a matte eyeshadow. Doesn't have a name listed. It is a beautiful purple color. I've actually used it on my lower lash line today. It has a little bit of kickback in the pan when I use a brush. Not a lot of fallout. The pigmentation, I'm not wearing any primer on my hand, so if it looks patchy, don't worry about it. It's not. It works out just fine. I've used it on my lid. I've used it underneath, like I said today. It applies smoothly. It has a beautiful color. It has some really decent pigmentation, and it can be built up or softened out. So I actually really like this. It matches my shirt almost. It's just a little bit lighter. But I really like this, and I really appreciate it. They were giving these out for free at the time, and yeah, I really love the color. And it's soft and smooth, and it's a really nice shadow. And as you can see there, it does build. It's a beautiful shadow. Highly recommend checking them out. I plan to actually get more of their stuff if I possibly can. Now, when they sent that, they actually sent me a little extra. They sent me this BeYu Power Volume Mascara. It is a Boosting Effect Mini Edition. Now, the only place that I found this otherwise is on Amazon. It's not that expensive on Amazon, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere else, which is the only disappointment. It has become one of my favorite mascaras. It is a bit on the wet side, so you will get a little bit of clumping, but I find it redistributes well. I like the brush. As you can see, there's some on the end. The color is beautiful. It lengthens, it thickens, and it gives you just a little bit of curl. Has really decent coverage. I really appreciate it. I can get the kind of look I like with this with 2 coats on my upper lashes and 1 coat on my bottom, since I don't like to put a whole lot on the bottom lashes. But I'm wearing it today, and as you can see, I hope, they're beautiful lashes. I really do enjoy this. It does, because it's kind of wet, it does need to redistribute because it does get a little clumpy on application. But if you take a second spoolie and go through, it will redistribute and get rid of those clumps without removing it from the lashes. It's really nice. Comes off easily with my Pearlosophy, and it doesn't leave much smudging behind. So yeah, this has become, I have 2 other mascaras that I really enjoy about the same as this, and that would be the Styla Huge Extreme and the Urban Decay Perversion. Both of those have been like top for me for a long time, and this one just became the third one in that group. So highly recommend it. Like I said, you can only find it on Amazon. Next is this little little sample of the Estee Lauder Matte Perfecting Primer. I only use this on my nose when I use it at all, and I haven't been using it a lot lately because I've been using the e.l.f. spray. So, but I did use a little bit on my nose today. I'm a little shiny because I did do some highlighting there, but I did use it in here, so you can see that it does mattify. It has a nice consistency, a faint but pleasant scent. This little thing. There's not much left in here. There we go. There we go. So that's what it looks like. It smooths out really nicely. You don't get any kind of tint or anything from it. And it does mattify. It takes the shine off my nose like instantly, so that's nice. It doesn't necessarily stay that way, but I have allergies and stuff like that, so anything that doesn't stay on my nose, I don't blame on the product. I blame it on the fact that I have to blow my nose all the time. My color correctors, I use these Mineralogie color correctors. They were a little harder to blend out when I used it in other places in my face. And that has never happened before with the Mineralogie. The Mineralogie has a very smooth, very rich consistency. Grab one of these. It is very, it's kind of on the thick side, but it's very, very creamy. And it applies really, really smoothly for me, and it blends out beautifully most of the time. It's a color corrector that does not take over my face, so I really, really like this one. I've enjoyed the NYX ones, but I have found for things like the green, you'll put it on to cover up your red, and it actually gives your face a green cast, which is something that I don't like. But anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, which is supposed to be this Miss Bumbling Lady here. The other areas that I have texture also looked a bit more emphasized with this, but that could also be because this is a matte primer. I have found with the more moisturizing primers that I do not have as much of an issue with that. The shine on my nose is greatly reduced, at least until the humid and the oil prone and the allergies hit, and then the shine comes back. So in terms of long lasting, I think it's okay. I don't think it would last through a really, really hot day for me, because I do get more oily as it gets hotter in the summer. My allergies may clear up, but that oil just breaks through almost anything. So it doesn't seem to help much then, and you lose the mattifying. The mattifying effect fades the longer you wear it. I will probably finish up this tube, but I probably wouldn't repurchase it. Someone who has less oil problems than I do might find this to work really, really well for them. Someone with more oil problems than I do probably would not. So I'm somewhere in the middle there. So I can't really say that I would recommend it for truly oily skin. Combination with a lightly oiled T-zone probably would really work. Normal skin, it would probably really work on. But beyond that, I can't really say that I would repurchase it or recommend it for anyone that has the level of oil that I do or oilier. If you're really oily, I would not recommend this. It won't last. Alrighty then, we had to take a quick break because children are outside and one of them decided to be unhappy about something. It's fine. It's fine. We'll move right along. Okay, so next we have the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. This is it's a nice bronzer. It's soft, it's creamy, it's relatively pigmented, but I think we can kind of see this problem a little bit there. I do like the soft texture. This color, I'm not too sure about, but to be fair, right now I'm a little darker than I would be in, say, the winter. So this might actually work very well for me in the winter. However, for my normal summer skin, I'm actually just a touch lighter than I normally get in the summer. So for my normal summer skin, this is actually a bit light. It does have decent pigment. The color does work well for, say, natural looks where I don't want to wear a lot of makeup, but I do want to emphasize some, like, you know, under my cheeks. It does seem to work better with a stiffer, more densely packed brush rather than something on the light. Despite the color, like I said, it's a little off in that sense. I'm thinking about holding on to it until wintertime and trying it then when my skin is lighter to see if it actually will work for me better. Then for summer, however, I have to say it really doesn't work for me that well. The colors I use right now tend to be dark. I don't mind the fact that it does not have that it's kind of on the cooler side. I tend to use warmer colors in the summer because I warm up from my tanning. As you can see, it's a bit lighter. The other one that I like to use a lot is Rodeo Drive from ColourPop. Make sure I have the right one. Yes. This one is also much deeper and has a more reddish cast. So these two, this Zuri Flawless and this ColourPop, work really well for me in the summer. They're both very warm. They're both darker. This one might work for me in the winter, so I'm going to hang on to it. I've been kind of thinking back and forth about giving it to one of my daughters. All that said, because I'm bumbling around like an idiot again, all that said, it does have decent pigment. It is very soft. It does have some decent color, as you can see. I would recommend it for people on the lighter end of, say, you're in the medium skin tone, so medium to light. It wouldn't work very well on someone who's darker than I am, I don't think. So it was a nice sample to receive in one of my Sephora orders. I believe it was a 100-point perk at the time. I'm going to give it a try in winter and see how it goes. But beyond that, if it doesn't seem to work out so well, then I do have other bronzers that I can contour with that will work for me in the winter, and this will probably go to my daughter or to Project Beauty Share. But I'm actually kind of hoping it works out because this does feel beautiful. It's very soft and very silky, so it's a really nice product. So the last thing on my samples are these two NYC individual eye palettes. This one is Soho Grand, which I used today, and this one is Manhattan's, I can talk, Manhattan's Elite. I think I picked these up at, it was either $1 makeup or something else. I will put the link down below of where I got them. They weren't very expensive. They were $1 to $2 or something like that. I was looking for samples of makeup to show you guys because mostly I get skincare, and these were on there for really, really inexpensive. Like I said, I did use the Soho Guard, and I did use all of it, including the white. The white is supposed to be in my inner corner. It didn't show up quite so well. I did not use the primer base this time. I did use the illuminator, and I have used these other colors. These do not swatch well. I will swatch them, but they do not swatch well. They obviously work fairly well, but they do not swatch well at all. When I first got them, and I opened them quite a while ago on the channel, when I first got them, I was really disappointed in the way they swatched because they swatched terribly. I keep trying to drop things today. See, don't swatch well, but I am wearing them. The second and third, the middle colors are on my lid with another color from my Urban Decay over it, and the Last color on there, this one on the bottom, is what's doing my outer edge that I normally do out here. So they perform much better than they swatch. And that goes for both of these. So, to go through the different pieces, I'm going to swatch this one too. Barely need to wipe off my fingers because they swatch so poorly. There is next to no kickback in the pan. And I didn't see any fallout. So yes, they swatch horribly, horribly, horribly bad. One of the first complaints, other than the swatching that I have, is there's barely any kickback, but there is some. And when there is some kickback, it can get into this base and this illuminator. It can be removed with, say, using Scotch tape over it to lift it up, but it is kind of annoying that it does that, and they have no, basically, if I were to do something like this, I would have something that would cover these up so that you can cover them up when you're trying to use the colors and not get any shadow into that. So that was one of the biggest problems I found. That said, the primer base here is, it's a very thick, and it's a bit stiff, and it's a bit more sticky than what I'm used to. So there's the base, and there's the illuminator. It was a bit stiffer, a bit harder to spread across the lid. It was, but not annoyingly so. It blended out nicely with a sponge. It does appear to hold up to my problem eye. This eye tends to lose shadow. I think I've mentioned that before. It doesn't just fade. It doesn't just melt. It just literally just disappears. The illuminator, same thing, very stiff, but spreads fairly well and adds kind of a white shimmer to the lid. Today I did not use the base. I did use the illuminator, and I did put my Kryolan over that. So they're working out very well. Not a lot of fallout. I had absolutely next to no fallout when I did this look today. The mattes in here, a couple of them are matte. This is not the one I used today. So this is the one I used today, and the first two are shimmery and these next two are matte. And these mattes do develop kind of a shimmery shine when used over that illuminator. I think the look came out pretty nice for the most part. This part up here is Urban Decay. There's a little bit in the middle that's Urban Decay, but most of the rest of this is almost completely this Soho Grand. So came out really nice, I think. I think. They blended and they mixed nicely. I was really, honestly, really surprised considering how poorly they swatched. They do fade a lot quicker than more expensive eyeshadows. I would not compare this to Violet Voss. Violet Voss will stay on my eyes for hours. This will eventually fade, but it repairs pretty well. So you could put this in your purse. It's very sturdy packaging. You can put this in your purse. You could take it with you, and it will, you can repair it or deepen it or increase it as needed through the day. I think overall that these were pretty good. Considering the price and considering the way they swatched, I'm really surprised. I'm debating on keeping, whether or not to keep both of these. The color schemes are very similar. But this one has a pink I like. The gray I probably would not use because it's supposed, I suspect it's supposed to be a silver, and on my skin it probably would not show up silver. But these other colors are pretty similar to what's in the Soho, so I haven't decided. But if I do keep any, I'll probably keep the Soho, and I'll probably give this one to my daughter or to Project Beauty Share, just because they're so similar in colors. But I do recommend them, and like I said, I will put the link to the site down below, to the page that they're on, so that you can find them. They're really cheap. So if you're looking for something inexpensive and something that you can carry in your purse to, you know, fix your fix your eyes during the day as they fade out, these are something that you can do that with. But yeah, so for like $1 or $2, they not bad at all. I was really, really surprised. Anyway, moving on. Time to move on. I hope you've liked what you've seen, and if you are not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe and click that notification bell down below to be notified when I upload. Just a warning, I've had some issues with my subscriptions where notification bells, I get the notification and I go and watch the video, and all of a sudden I look down and I find that the bell is no longer clicked. So if you are a subscriber and you are not getting notified, you may want to go ahead and check and make sure that you are still have that bell ready to go, clicked and ready to go. But if you are not going to subscribe, I get it. Not everybody's cup of tea, right? You know, but I do hope you will visit again. And when you do visit again, don't forget to bring your cuppa. That chocolate is getting deeper as it steeps longer, and it's heavenly. And I love the fact that the mint is just not, the mint is actually fading a little bit as the chocolate gets stronger, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Very, very good. You all have a great day.